Hi, peeps. I wanted to share with you information about a resource, essentially a group of people that have really provided me with enlightenment, encouragement, hope, and strength throughout this really chaotic time that we're facing. And it's a group of intuitives that are called the 4 a.m. Club, or sometimes the Dreaming Women. Now, this is not going to be for everybody. And I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm not trying to convince you of anything whatsoever. If you're interested, please continue to listen. If not, feel free to scroll on. But essentially, what the 4 a.m. Club is are a group of intuitives, men and women, and a fairly large number of them that woke up at 4 a.m. on the morning of the election and felt very large amounts of energy going through their body and knew something with the election had gone awry. Previous to the election, all of these intuitives had been predicting the win of Kamala Harris and that she would become president, and waking up the morning of the election realized something was off and that was not going to occur. And since that time, they have continued to share insights through their various means of speaking with spirit guides or spirits, or sensing things from the energy of the universe, and have been sharing that more broadly online and coming together as a group and talking about it. And a lot of what is being discussed in these last few months is that we are shifting as a globe, as a planet, to sort of the rise of divine feminine power. And there's also a lot with timelines, and that this idea that we all individually can be on different timelines, and there is movement happening right now in a very big way that's never really been seen before, at least in our lifetime or for long periods of time, from like people that are resonating at sort of a third dimension or third timeline to a fifth timeline. And a lot of that, it's not good or bad one way or the other. It's not that one's above the other or below. It's really just about your engagement with the universe and your overall connection on a different level, right? With spirit and light and all of that stuff. Listen, they explain it so much better than I do. I really just wanted to share this because, it's been so helpful to me just to have another perspective and hear another side that balances my logical side with what I follow. A whole variety of different individuals, including Gia Prism, Spirituality with Sam, Nina, your witchy healer, Ali, intuition influencer, ethical psychic, and even the magic of somatic money. And they all work a little bit differently. And I will tag all of them below. So please go check them out. And they have amazing things to say. And I would generally say that they've been getting it right for the last couple months, and the things that they've been talking about. And some of them will talk about dates. But dates are very wobbly and very dependent on the energy and how things are moving, and things shift all the time, and there's free will, and as energy is shifting, then some of these things are shifting. But I have found generally that they have been correct in a lot of their observations and in talking about the chaos that is going on. So that's one piece of it. But the bigger piece for me is that they are all very good at talking about how do you emotionally and spiritually cope with what is happening, with all the chaos that is going on. And there is, some thinking that, your own energy, if you are in fear, if you're afraid, that puts a lot of negative energy out into the world that, Trump and others are feeding off of. And a better way to go is to remain positive and anchor the light. Listen, and for me, this is, I'll be very honest, a daily struggle. I'm not always able to do this. But In doing so, it forces you to examine your own shadows, or what are those things that you're fearing and why, and how do you work through that so that you can be put in a place where you are riding the waves, or you're above the fray, so to speak, and you can sit outside it and watch, but not necessarily have to feel connected to that or have to respond to that. And those are some of the things that I have found extremely helpful as I move through this historical period in time. What I also really like is that they're not advocating for you to go do one thing or another, but rather it's a very critical acknowledgement that we are all on our own journey, and on our own spiritual journey or journey to enlightenment. I think the biggest thing is that there are things you can do to protect your energy and to protect your emotions and where you're at. And it's really a matter of seeking out what works best for you, whether that's through meditation or journaling, or figuring out being part of a healing circle, or figuring out what it is that is driving your fear and upset. One of the other things that I really have appreciated them saying is that, no one's coming to save us. And, you hear a lot of people say this. No one's coming to save us, but we can save ourselves. And the way to do that is by looking at ourselves, understanding we are the ones that have to change. I have to change. And all of us have to change together, although we might be changing in different ways. But we have to heal our own shadows, shift our own beliefs, and heal our fears. And then it's really up to us to enact the change that we want to see. And, when you are listening to the news and being informed about what's happening, and it makes you angry and fearful, that lowers your whole energetic vibration. That doesn't help necessarily. So understanding when you need to pull back and reconnect to your spirit. And also there are times that, we need people to help anchor that light and maintain that higher vibration to get the change that we desire. And so that is one way alone that you can contribute to this situation, this chaotic situation, is by healing yourself, looking at what's inside you, and working to maintain a higher spiritual vibration. If you can just do that, it could make an immense difference in the future and the way the energy is being utilized around our globe. Being in alignment with your higher self, paying attention to how you feel, honor that and really work to balance your human side with your spiritual side, and take the time to be spiritual. I will do another post on kind of summarizing what a lot of them are saying about things that may be happening in March. I think it's fascinating. It's allowing me to have a little bit of hope, feel somewhat positive as I'm trying to maintain a high level of energy and vibration. And even as I'm planning for the worst, I'm also looking at this side of things and thinking, okay, things could work out, and I'm going to do what I can to support that in the world. So, food for thought. Share your comments, like and follow me if you want to hear more summaries about this amazing 4am Club and the Dreaming Women. Thanks.